Hello, everyone. This is your host of the Sith Dominion podcast, Dr. Dana Martin, and welcome to the show, and welcome Debbie, and welcome not Alex, Andrew. Hi, Andrew. How are you,
sir?
You're looking
Doing
a little
good.
crispy right now, like crunchy.
He's pixelated.
To be expected.
Yes, we're getting some interference. That's okay. That's okay. You're here, and I appreciate it. That's more than can be said for a couple other co-hosts of mine. Sorry, Cam is not here. I know everyone was waiting with bated breath to hear what he had to say about The Force Awakens, but it's okay. He said he may join in the Discord afterwards, and maybe we'll go to midnight again. These are become long nights. They really have, but man,
Oh my god.
sometimes it's like, oh wow, like it's just great. Like, and sometimes it's like, I'm just gonna go to bed. I'm tired. Cam's playing a game, whatever. But no, get ready for Cam's opinions. I think more next week and the week after. He's really not fond of those two shows. So, and maybe we'll try to get him hopped up on Tito's first. Do we know if the chat's working yet? Perfect.
Nobody's on.
Nobody's on. Awesome. This is great.
We've reached our goal.
I know. Our goal was our subscriber goal for today. Just someone watch the damn show. No, we were just talking in pre-show actually last week's show. Thank you all for watching, tuning in, even if it's for 12 minutes or whatever, 4 minutes. I don't care. Thank you. Stay longer and tell us what you like about the show. Tell us what you don't like. We want fan engagement. We want to be able to do stuff with you, which is why we had a poll, starting to do a poll every week. And we'll talk about that later too. Zane is not here. Also, he is recording again. I don't know how many times you got to record. I mean, I was a musician. They call me one take Tommy. I went in and I did and I left. That is a lie. That is such a lie. So yeah, he's rocking that tonight. So he'll be back next week, hopefully too. In the meantime, Debbie and Andrew are gonna just carry the show because all I do is ask questions. Debbie, how was your week?
Oh no, it's a lot of pressure.
Well, it's only Tuesday, but it's like, is it Friday yet? Is it Friday 4:30? That's when I get off work. 4:30.
I had to do a quick huddle with my boss, and he's in Florida and Sarasota, so they had tons of flooding, the stuff and whatever. He's all right. Feels very blessed. Was not as bad as other people, even in Sarasota. But I had asked him whenever he's, hey, how you doing, Dana? And I'm like, I didn't sign up for 2 Mondays in a row. I mean, it really feels like that this week. And I actually said before anyone got on, TikTok was live. It's like, I just want this fucking day to end. Like, not that I don't want to do the show with you all. I was just like, man, this day.
I'll just get off now.
What was that?
That's fine. I'll just get off now.
Yes. Well, I mean, I have a feeling with how crunchy your video is, you're going to be limited contribution tonight, but that's okay. Look at him. He's just frozen. Like, that's okay. Just have that picture for, that's a good one to freeze on, that smile. Oh my goodness. Yeah, but we have some cool stuff happening around with Feast of Fandoms, with just the shows taking off last 2 weeks. Everything seems to be going well with that. You want to tell me if that, how that's going? And Debbie, no, yeah.
Yeah, it's going well.
Right on cue.
Yeah. Well, she had to jump down. Thank God she's not attacking my hair. For those who are listening, that's my cat, Chewy. She likes to attack my hair during the show. But yeah, things over there are going well. So far, it's just been MCU Monday and Cantina Happy Hour. Geek Gauntlet was going to do a show Saturday, but then Hurricane Helena.
Yeah.
And the host of that show lives in Georgia. So that did not go well.
Yeah.
We're hoping for this Saturday.
Sure.
They'll pop on. Get some more videos up.
That'd be great. We've got I think October 1st is kind of the official we're winding down. And so kind of sad. I had gone through and pulled a bunch of articles I had written and was reading through some of them thinking, man, that's really trash. I don't know. Why did he let me publish that? I'm a terrible writer.
I
But
like your articles.
seeing the kind of evolution of writing from me, like for myself, reading through that now was really cool. Just in the course of a year, and a lot of that was Grand Poobah David was pretty thorough with how he wanted me to write these articles, and taught me a lot about I know how to academically write. I know how to write fiction, and I just don't know how to write articles like this. This was new to me. So GNN, thank you for everything. Just really cool. And
Yeah, I used to write, but I tend to write essay style, and he didn't like that,
yeah,
so I quit writing.
yeah. There's very much formulaic, I think, is the way we have to approach those articles.
I'm not smart enough to write, so
What?
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay,
Yeah,
Andrew,
come on.
we've been neglecting you. Okay.
Holy.
Were you were on Cantina the last week, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
I saw you on there.
Yeah.
Would y'all
I'm a regular.
y'all did Maul, right?
I'm a co-host.
Yes, we did them all.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
So Andrew, how was your
Yeah,
week?
as a
Oh, go ahead.
co-host, I am required. So, as a co-host, I'm required to be on. So,
Oh, you're an official co-host of that show? Why did I not know this? Is that for real?
Yeah.
I thought Cam was. Or no, he's on the other one. Or is he on this one too?
No. Andrew's on Marvel and Cantina Star Wars, as am I and Dave, and Cam is only on the Star Wars
Okay.
Cantina.
God. Cam was giving me grief on one of the posts about the whatever. Anyways, I like Cam. He's great. And I like that he gives me grief because no one ever gives me grief. In this world, no one ever does. Except for our Cam when he's been drinking Tito's. So again, next week, when everyone's back, I think I had started kind of promoting that we would have Tito's Tuesday and TSD. Tito's and TSD Tuesday, but that's a tongue twister. And maybe not this week, maybe next week. So
Well, I gotta ask because I'm dumb. What the hell's a Tito?
what's
The only Tito I know is Jackson. That's the only Tito I know is Tito Jackson. Sorry.
Hey,
I'm
and you
old.
would. You're from Indiana, so yeah. I don't. Someone commented whenever this was like episode 30 something. I don't know. Someone had watched. Go look for that comment on one of those, and someone's like, "Really? That's what Michael Jackson is what you know from Indiana?" Because we were talking about Indiana. It was Michael Jackson. Of all the things, that's yeah. Sorry.
Notre Dame.
Oh yeah, Notre Dame.
Rudy.
Rudy. He was
Indianapolis
offside.
500. Brickyard 500.
Yes, Indy 500, Brickyard. Yes. That's true.
Indiana Pacers. Indiana Fever.
Colts. Okay, there's more in Indiana than just the Jacksons. Okay. Joe would want it otherwise, where he was they were the only one. Yeah. Well, we talk about that in After Dark, y'all. Come join us. We'll talk about. Just kidding. Don't. We're not going to talk about Michael Jackson. Andrew, how was your week? You have crap internet right now, but how was your week?
Yeah, pretty good. Just Tuesday, so not a whole lot has happened.
Yeah, but remember, we haven't spoken since last Tuesday. So when Debbie's like, it's only
right.
Tuesday,
Okay.
I'm like, fine.
Let's see.
But we haven't talked in 7 days. So that's
Only
great and all.
chat. Come on.
Oh my gosh. A standard week is Sunday through Saturday. Okay, my bad. Jeez.
I've been doing college classes,
Yeah.
catching up on some shows. Watched episode 2 of The Penguin, which is like top tier TV at the moment.
Shut it. Are you serious? No, come on.
It
Yes,
is. It is so
it's
good.
Is Colin, what's his
amazing.
name? Penguin, or is this the different Penguin?
Yeah,
The
Colin
penguin
Farrell's
from
Penguin.
the Batman
The
movie.
Batman movie. Okay.
Colin
It's
Farrell
really
is
good.
amazing.
That was the
Yeah.
Robert Pattinson movie.
Mhm.
Yeah, I saw that. It was okay.
The actress who plays Sophia Falcone is amazing in her role.
Who is that?
I mean, she is freaky, dude. You don't know if she's about to like stab you or give you a hug. You can't.
Probably
tell,
both at the same time.
Yeah.
Pay extra for that. Wait, what'd you say, Andrew? That was inappropriate. My bad. No one's listening. Okay, man. So yeah, catching up on shows. Penguin, how was it? Episode 2. It's good. Oh, you're watching
Very
it.
good.
Really good.
Well,
Really
why don't y'all talk about that on the DC show?
What DC show?
I was waiting for somebody to say, yeah, what DC show?
I thought somebody was starting one.
Aren't we gonna? Let's do it.
Andrew.
Come on.
Oh, you don't want me as a host? Come on. I'm
You and,
barely a co-host.
I forget what the guy's name was, but you and some other guy was gonna. I don't think it was gonna be live stream. I think it was just gonna be recorded.
Yeah, no, my internet can be live.
All right. Okay. Yep, they don't call him the best color commentary man in the business for nothing, folks. So, Major League, if you know that one. All right. I just watched that again, literally less than a month ago. You cannot watch it too many times. Like it just holds. It's just a great movie. Have you seen it, Major League, Andrew?
No, I have not.
It's funny.
Quite. It's the top 3 baseball movies of all time. Major League, top 3. Major League. I know we've got The Natural to contend with, and we've got 8 Men Out and Field of Dreams, but this movie is up there, man. So good. Funny. What else? Oh, I guess that's about it for now. Let's start kind of working through some of this. So the poll for this week was interesting. We had some stuff go on in one poll and not another, and we never got one up on Discord. Way to go, Zane. I didn't ask him, but in all fairness, I can put it up too. I just don't know how. So just like whatever. When you're like, hey, do you want to put that up on YouTube? Yeah. You can do that? Let's do it. Wait, didn't you do that last week? So it took me a second to even find where you I didn't even know where the poll was. So, but apparently a lot of people think it's Han. It's interesting to see how it's leaning that way. I thought people would kind of go with the Snoke, or fine, I just pissed him off. Would go with Snoke.
No, he had to leave. He said he could barely hear us.
Gotcha. No. Oh, I see. There's like private messages. Hold on one second. I'm catching up. Okay, great. I see. Okay. So now Andrew can jump on and we'll have one live stream watcher the whole time. It's okay, dude. Just watch. It's fine. No worries, man. Yeah, I found that
I put down Snoke.
yeah. Who else? Snoke was second. And do we have in a timeline? I don't know if we do. When Snoke started trying to influence Kylo Ren, or sorry, Ben Solo, was it pre the instance with Luke, or was it post?
And I think it was, I don't remember there being because they came out with those books that were And I think it was for each movie where it would be like Journey to the Force Awakens. And
Yeah.
there was one that was specifically for Rey. I don't know. I don't remember if there's others or not, but I think Snoke started to get in Ben's brain while he was at the academy or the Jedi Academy.
Mhm. So that would mirror a lot of the Exar Kun piece of Legends where he was influencing Luke's students as well. But Exar Kun was Ghost, whereas Snoke was just using the Force. So how
It
is
was
it?
actually Palpatine.
Palpatine, not Snoke. What was Snoke? Do we know if he was a failed clone or what? Like, did we ever get any sort of clarity on that?
Oh yeah, he was a clone.
Okay,
Because
that's right. Because there were a bunch of them in the thing. That's right. But we don't know who he was a clone of. I saw a suspicion of Tarkin actually. Was one of the theories. Yeah,
really,
but it would make sense to have a brilliant strategist mind to help whatever on top of now having force powers. But how do you get force powers to transfer through clones, right? Isn't that what the whole Grogu thing is about?
Mhm. Yeah, the body has to be able to hold a very high count midichlorian,
Yeah.
which that was what the whole Bad Batch thing was.
Mhm.
Because
Omega, right?
yeah, Omega.
Omega.
Yeah, she was her body or whatever would be able to hold
Mhm.
the high M count.
High M count. Ugh, stop. It just like took it out of like it made it so that I knew I would never be a Jedi. Like like when you start adding science and take the wizardry out of it, like I can't do it because I don't have it. I can't. And even if I tried to identify as a Jedi, it wouldn't work. It just doesn't. I don't have that in me. So what are you gonna do? That really frustrated me. But so I wanna lean into this a little bit with the Han thing. I know that Han is your one of your dudes. But I mean, why would the bulk of folks think that Han was more influential in this journey up to this point for Kylo Ren? Why? I mean, yeah, his dad, but
I don't know if it's because Han left because, him and Leia weren't working out, which I absolutely hated in the storyline. That was one part of the storyline I hated was that, they got divorced or whatever they do in Star Wars. I hated that because in Legends, I mean, nothing could separate them. Nothing. So that was something I hated. But yeah, maybe that had a little bit to do with it. I don't know.
When they see each other that first time in the movie, well, the first time for the last time in that film, can you go back and think about what you remember feeling when you saw them on the catwalk and what you felt like was happening or going to happen? Or did you already know from spoilers?
Oh, I didn't know as soon as they announced the movie and as soon as they announced the cast, I knew. Because Harrison was been trying to get killed off since the 70s. So
True.
So I figured, yeah, he's asking for a crap ton of money to be killed off. Although
Money
he does
that
come
he'll
back
never
in the third.
spend. He's so old he'll never spend it all.
I know. But yeah, I knew. But it was still heartbreaking to see because I was like, no. I didn't know how it was going to happen, but to see him sacrifice himself for his son.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Or did he just flat out kill his dad? Like,
No.
I don't think he anticipated getting killed. I think, he was going to take the saber away and take his son home to see his mama. I don't think he anticipated getting stabbed. I mean, yes, Harrison anticipated getting stabbed, but I don't think Han anticipated. He was he was trying to pull the saber away.
I think he was giving Kylo Ben the option. He was willing to make Han was willing to make the sacrifice, and he was hoping his son would turn the dark side away. That didn't happen, but he was willing to take that sacrifice.
I got
you. And of course, Kylo, his sacrifice also affects Kylo's dark side. It kind of taints it, because with a Sith, you have to, in order to become a Sith or a Darth or a Lord, you have to kill somebody. And Han took that from him. Because he never does become a Sith Lord. He doesn't become a Darth.
No, that's never a title bestowed upon him, ever.
His eyes never turn yellow, unless they do underneath the mask, and we never see it.
You think that was intentional by Disney to kind of get rid of the Sith a little bit, and it was just brought back in the end because of whatever? But because they seem to work hard at like working around not speaking to that in that first movie. And did I misread that? Or were they being intentional not saying Sith in that movie?
Well, I don't think Snoke was really a Sith. I mean, they don't call him Darth Snoke or Lord
Snoke, no.
Yeah, nothing.
Supreme Leader Snoke.
Yeah, that's it. He was just a puppet for Palpatine.
Palpatine's puppet, which is
because he didn't want anybody to know he was back. And so evidently nobody really knew. Leia even mentions before Han takes off, she says, it was Snoke. He's the one that's messing with Ben's mind.
Mm-hmm. So they were all blinded to it.
Yeah. So
yeah, that was some terrible writing in that moment. Just saying. But go ahead. I just watched it, and it's terrible. That moment is supposed to be a moment that it's not you, it's Snoke. He poisoned our son's mind, but it's just poor. It's just really terrible. Sorry.
But it's consistent throughout Star Wars. Come on.
It's just
come on. They're consistent.
Yeah.
70s Star Wars, the 90s Star Wars, they're all that way.
My goodness. The so that moment with Han, I feel like if there's a dark side moment there to be had by Kylo, and Han is sacrificing, I think you bring something up that I didn't quite consider, and that would be that there are two things that are going to happen. Either Han's going to die, which he was fully prepared to do, or Ben was going to take his father's hand and they were going to go skipping back to Mama. And I think you're right. He was totally willing to do whatever that meant, because if he was, shoot, what just happened? I don't know what
I put up Cam's.
Oh,
he put a little heart.
Oh, Cam. He's like in between games or something. He's like freaking, or is he on his way home? Oh, is he on his way home? Shoot, where was I? Oh, either or. And if it was that he was to be killed, he would have been the distraction that they needed to make sure that they escaped. So we know Han was a smart strategist too. Like, he wasn't stupid. He was a freaking general in the Republic, or in the Rebel forces. So he knows what he's
Rebellion.
doing. Rebellion. There we go. Rebel scum. He has a military mind. So yeah, I think I never considered that. He absolutely was doing that. So that no matter what, there was a chance. Right? There's gonna be hope. As soon as that light goes away, as long as we have light, we have hope. Shut up. Shut up. Some of that writing's terrible. It's terrible. Because what happens, right? So, but yes, from the dugout, Cam. Cam supporting us from the dugout. That's right. Cam, we were talking
Cheers.
about Tito's for next week, and
I never
she
got
doesn't
an
know what a Tito's
explanation what a
is.
Tito is.
I sure hope you
Outside of
heard that.
Tito Jackson from the Jackson 5. May he rest in peace.
Tito's is a vodka that is born and bred in Austin, and it's a very good vodka. Tito's.
Okay. You just drink it straight or you mix it with something?
Sure. I mean, it's like Grey Goose. It's as good, if not better, in my opinion, than Grey Goose. So yeah, you could drink it straight. I like it with a little Topo Chico, little splash of grenadine and some lime. It's like I need to go through 3 handles to get right. Well, that's next week. Can't wait. Yeah, I think he was setting up their escape, plain and simple. And I don't know that. I mean, we know that she felt that across the galaxy. Leia, felt her love of her life die. Through
that killed me.
Force. Yeah, it was tough when she takes that that moment. It's like no. That was tough. Back to the dark side stuff. I don't want to get mushy yet. Snoke. So when we have Snoke, Debbie brings up the great point that they never call him Sith Lord or Darth or anything. He's just Snoke. And I think I kind of roll back to were they trying really hard to establish kind of a new way forward with what the dark side was, who the dark side consisted of. We knew that this movie was not written by the people who wrote the next 2. So, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? You think it was that intentional?
And no, because I mean, because they do well, like you said in the last movie. You know, it's I am all of the Sith.
Yeah.
But I think knowing Palpatine and his huge ego, he didn't want an apprentice. He from the very beginning, he's wanted to rule the galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
And it keeps getting screwed up. Of course, he dies. Well, I guess he doesn't die, but everybody thinks he is. But yeah, I don't think he wants anyone associated. It's just him.
Yeah. So did Snoke know his role?
That I don't know.
He played that role. If he knew his role, he played it well.
Yeah, he did.
He did everything I think he needed to do to get, I think Palpatine wanted Rey and Kylo, not Rey and Ben, though. Would you agree?
Oh, yeah. Kylo, not Ben.
Yeah. Was that the October surprise for him? Was that Ben had turned? Probably.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think he was.
I mean, we talked about what did the Emperor not account for in Empire? Strikes Back. This might be but we can't talk about that's further. Gosh darn it, we're going down the wrong rabbit hole. That's another show. Back to Snoke. Did he know? Yeah, I think he somehow knew. And does he know he's a clone? That's weird too.
Yeah, I don't know if it's been so long since I've read the books, and I don't particularly remember if that was ever addressed.
It seems strange to me that you have this person to show up. This thanks. Oh, you're not talking about mine, are you? She's talking about this one that you're wearing. She's talking about your shirt, Debbie, not mine.
He can't see my shirt.
Yeah, you can see it was Deadpool Wolverine. Right?
Oh. Yeah, but all I can see on here is black.
You'd lean back. It's okay. Yeah, there it is. Take off the shirt. No. No.
Nobody wants to see that shit. That's what I'm telling you right now.
That's why I keep telling them no. Trust me.
I'm too old for that. Maybe in my younger days.
Maybe. And that's
a big maybe.
Under a lot of Tito's. What's a Tito?
Rum and Coke for me.
Spice rum or just rum?
Any kind of rum.
Oh, just rum. But why is the rum gone? So Snoke comes with, I think, a heap of problems for the story, because we don't know how the origin of the Emperor occurred when we watched Star Wars: A New Hope. But what's up, Josiah? But it wasn't. It was just the Emperor, and it was only mentioned like twice, 3 times. It was in passing. They made Snoke a fixture in this movie. But gave no background. So I felt kind of empty of who is Snoke? What's his story? What's his dark side? Give me some understanding of how he influenced Kylo Ren. Help me know why Kylo is so devoted to your teachings. Like, help me understand this. And maybe I just am watching the movie at too surface of a level. But I didn't feel the way the dark side felt with Star Wars original trilogy, or even dark side the way it felt in the prequels. To me, dark side in the sequels is like dark side light. It's, yes, the big super weapon, and we're blowing up planets, multiple at once. But outside of that, I just didn't feel like the dark side was represented in a way that makes it unappealing and in a way that makes it scary.
Sorry, I was trying to look up to see if there's anything on the interwebs.
The portrayal of the dark side is kind of where we're going now. Is just it was very much and maybe it's just a way that a direction Disney's trying to move, but the dark side did not seem so dark. Yes, he killed his dad, but Kylo wasn't fearing and ominous in the way that a Vader was, or even Emperor, or Maul, or Dooku. Like, they just all had this something about them. Super dark side, amazing stuff. Sequels felt like a dark side in the prequels felt like it infected someone's mind like poison. Yeah, that's true. Just kind of creeped in. I like your next comment. You got that, Debbie? That one's just sequels.
A sad wet blanket, maybe?
Oh, that's so terrible. It did. It felt very emo. It really did. And I'm not blaming what's his name for that.
Adam.
Adam. That's what he was told to do. But it did. It felt too much snow. It felt too light to me. Not as serious. And I know it may not make sense because they used this big planet. It got soggy. This big planet, which was Ilium, which was where they had all the crystals, right? That's where the crystal caves were. and they built their super weapon out of that. Right? That's where the Jedi used to go to get their crystals. Was on that planet.
Yes.
Yep. And they used it to destroy all the other planets, which...
But they had to have the sun to, I guess, supercharge them? I don't know. The whole thing didn't make sense to me. But I'm not the smartest person on the block.
Yeah, I
either.
thought it was pretty ridiculous, too. Wait, catch me up. What are we talking about? Clay Swish. We are talking about The Force Awakens. We've talked about a couple of things already, like Kylo, Snoke, his daddy. Not Snoke is Kylo's daddy, but Kylo's daddy Han, and what all was going on with that relationship. But now we're talking about just kind of the feeling of the Force. The dark side of the Force in TFA seemed very like Dark Force light. It didn't feel full on like, oh, I'm going to kill everything or everybody that stands in my way. And you get that feeling from Vader, the way he carries himself, the way it's written, etc. So that's kind of what we're... what? Cause crystals? No. That's pretty funny, though. It's true. Maybe. So, yeah, where did they get all the kyber crystals from for... we'll talk about that, I guess, in Rise of Skywalker. But you have to have kyber crystals. It's the way those lasers work. We know this. Where'd you get them all for all those? You done blew up a planet where you get the majority of kyber crystals.
Well, I'm sure there's other planets, but...
There's a dark side in them. Yes, but it's a secret. Oh my goodness. Yes, there is a dark side in The Force Awakens. I have to do something, but I don't think I have the strength to do it. It's come on. You're killing me with this. And the voice is just, it's too much. It's too much. Okay, let's talk silly shit, because that's all we've been doing tonight anyway. The lightsaber. Can we talk about the lightsaber? It was cool when it lit the first time, but if you watch closely, he would have tore his chest open a few times with those little cross things.
Cross guards
sticking out. Confused you. Wow. It's like a light grace. Wow. So I'm not alone in my thoughts with that. Debbie, you haven't said it felt like dark side light, though.
No.
Do you feel like it holds like the level of that dark side feeling you got when you watched A New Hope?
Well, I mean, we didn't have the imposing figure of Darth Vader. We only had his helmet.
True.
So, I mean, I guess, which it didn't make sense to me at the time, because I was like, so is Darth talking to him in the Force, which made no sense, like a Force ghost, which is no sense because, he turned to the light side in Return of the Jedi.
That's right.
So I'm like, well, who the freaky deaky is he talking?
Yeah.
Talking to.
Chewie's like, yeah, I'm telling you.
Exactly. He didn't. Well, he wasn't a Sith. He
Nope.
did not pass his test.
Nope. I put this one up, that other one up. We'll talk about that real quick too. Truly dark side or light side or perspective. So we've talked about this at length on the show. What we always end up with, regardless of how we feel about it, is playing a clip from George at some point where he's like, there is light and there is dark, and balance is light. And if you're out of balance, that's the dark side of the Force. And until you're balanced, and he's of course tying it into us, right? Until you're balanced, then you're in the dark side of the Force. So that's, even though I feel our show is a dark side show, and I actually like to use this stuff to help us from a dark side point of view, help us grow and be better people. But ultimately, yeah, it is. Dark sides when you're out of balance. And Kylo wasn't fully turned to the dark side, which is why he was conflicted. Yeah. Talk about that because we see this conflict in him the whole series, which is great, honestly. Seeing a character struggle, um, is seeing a character come out the other side of the struggle, the hero's struggle, and this is all mythos, and it's fun to watch and it's cool to watch because you can relate and be connected with that character. However, I don't see Cam, so I'll say this. Um, no, I'm just kidding. Someone like Ray was very difficult to connect with for me. Someone like Kylo, I connected with very easily due to my own relationships, estranged father, whatever. So, relating to a character like Kylo Ren, who is full of the dark side, he's not really full of the dark side. He's just out of balance. And until he fully accepts that he can control what he can control and not everyone else around him and everything else around him, once he realizes all that, he throws his saber away and then realized he probably needed that saber to go hunt down and help Ray. It's like, shit. Yeah. Anyhow, sorry, that went on a nice little tangent, but yeah. I don't know. What do you think, Demi? I mean, what do you think? Maybe Kylo's. I don't know. Could you relate to Kylo or Ray more? Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, depending on certain points in the movies, um, both.
Yeah.
There were some things that I could relate to as far as Ray. There was some stuff I could relate to as far as Kylo. Sorry.
Neither.
But yeah.
Do you feel I don't know. I'm gonna ask this of you specifically here as a woman. I would love your opinion on this because I can't sit in the shoes of starting to compare characters. I can from my vantage point, but when I see a Leia and I see a Rey and I see these female leads that are strong and running the business and doing shit that's awesome, I think it's incredible. I don't know though when I see Ray, that to me seemed like a very narrow this type of person, someone who's been left, an orphan, whatever. Whereas someone like a Leia, she was adopted, she had a family, just could relate that. No, now all of her friends are like you knew who this person. I don't know, like it was different. It wasn't just some scavenger out, and then you couldn't relate to. So I guess that's kind of where I'm going with this. Is do you feel like there was some of that, or that you could relate maybe to those older characters?
I mean, I didn't have a problem with her. I don't think her. Are you talking about her journey was narrow or?
Like no, I'm sorry, her origins very narrow. Like as far as you
Oh,
knew,
gotcha.
like yeah, um, she was just I mean, literally a nobody on a planet with the scat. Like I don't know. I don't know who can relate to that as a person, let alone a female. Just I don't know. I'm not in those shoes.
Well, I mean, look at how many runaways you have living on the streets.
That's a good point.
I mean, she does have origins that we find out later.
Sure.
She does have a mother and father. She knows this, and she feels, that they're going to come back, even though that's kind of unrealistic,
Mhm.
especially after all these years. They're going to come back. but that's her hope. I think that's what's keeping her going. Why she keeps wanting to go back to Jakku.
Yeah, and that I think is the big leverage that Kylo has on her through all this, right? Like is her parents. Did he really know who they were in the beginning, or was he telling her just garbage? I
Oh,
know
he
who
was
your
just
parents are.
bullshitting her.
Yeah. They were nobody. They sold you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he didn't know. Either that or that's what Snoke told him.
No, could have told him. Yeah. Man, okay, so let's talk about the dynamic here, Snoke. I flashed in my head the whole Hux and Kylo Ren. You have the military mind, and you have the arm of Snoke, the Emperor, whatever, Supreme Leader. So we literally have a Tarkin / Vader situation again, but this is way different.
Oh yeah, it's totally different.
Way different. You have the Force user that has to work together with the admiral of whatever, Grand Moff Top, you know what I'm saying, of the military, and you've got Kylo and Hux, and they have to work together to be successful. And wow, what an absolute cluster! What I think Ray should have. Yes, yes. Oh, that would have been cool. I'd totally been down with that. I could go with that.
I don't like it.
Rey fall to the dark side, stayed as a Sith, and Finn would come back and kill her in the last movie. Yeah.
Although I agree with your earlier comment that Finn should have been, or we should have seen Finn turn Jedi.
Absolutely.
I hated that. I hated that they totally screwed his character.
Absolutely.
Hated that.
So that relationship with Hux throughout, it just gets sillier and sillier. Like, where he's tossing him around, Snoke tossing him around like a rag. What are you doing? Like anyone's gonna respect
That was awesome.
him. No, but if you're, and this is where it's you guys, not you guys, like you writers, you're not. Is it funny? Whatever, but it's not realistic. It really isn't, because realistically, you do that to Admiral Hux, who the fuck's gonna respect him? Who's gonna look up to him or follow his lead? The only reason they would is because Kylo told him to do it, so then he did it, or Snoke told him to do it, so we're doing it. There's zero respect, and Tarkin garnered respect from the people that were around him. But Vader treated him with respect, and so did the Emperor. They treated him with respect. They disrespected Hux in every way imaginable. Why he even stayed and didn't be like, hey, I'm going to put my application over to the Resistance because you guys treat me like shit over here.
Well, see, here's the thing, and we kind of talked about this, I think it was last week. I mentioned that by the time Jedi comes around, we don't have the strong Imperial Moffs like Tarkin, because a lot of them were killed off. So by this time, by the Force Awakens, it's even less. And I mean, they're just, I mean, as we've seen through Finn, they're kidnapping kids and trying to what's the word I'm looking for? Brainwash them into believing the Imperial propaganda. Same thing goes with some of the Imperials. Some of them are the same way. Some of them, you got Imperials defecting all over the place. So yeah, you don't have the strong. You have a few, like I I think Hux's father, I think he was pretty strong. And then General Pride, I think his name.
In the other one? In
the
the
other
last
one.
movie? Or
Yeah, the last movie. Moff Pride.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was a Moff or if he was general or.
I don't recall, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think he was from the old school.
Dude, when he like stood firm and just looked at the window knowing he was about to eat a spaceship, like he didn't even care. Like he was just like, that you're right. There wasn't that display of strength. There was, we'll use our big super weapon, but not the display that we would have seen from the Empire. You're exactly right. Wow. Because they were, you're right, they were the rebels. They were the smaller unit, the First Order. Yeah.
Well, see, and here and shoot, what was you saying on the TikTok live? About this negates Anakin's.
Oh, yeah.
No. As usual.
Is that as usual? You lost your train of thought, or as usual was the first part of what you were going to say?
Oh, wow.
So as I was saying in the TikTok about Anakin is now negated because because Palpatine comes back. So he didn't really balance the Force by getting rid of the Sith and becoming, as we stated earlier in the show, Force, light side of the Force is balance. So,
but you will never get rid of a Sith. Never. Because you're always going to have somebody who's Force sensitive. And it'll be up to them because right now there's no freaking academy, right? So anybody who's Force sensitive now, they're going to make that choice. Am I going to use it for good, or am I going to use it to, take out the landlord that's treating my mother badly, or, So yeah, there's always going to be that dark side. I don't think you could ever be balanced. For the time period Anakin did bring balance to the Force, there's no negating that. But the Republic, in their stupidity, they knew. Well, for one, they were truly overwhelmed because they had, from Return of the Jedi, they had all these Imperials. What are we going to do with all these people that we've captured? Can they be re-educated? Blah, 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 blah.
You had no government. You had an empire. So you had to reestablish representation as a republic.
And Mon Mothma made the mistake. She wanted to... Well, she did. She cut back military by about 90%.
Oh, I knew this. That was in one of those books.
Yes. So, mistake number one.
Mm-hmm.
So, during that time period, up until Force Awakens, the Imperials have gathered. Now, I don't know how many people knew Palpatine was still around. I'm assuming there's the top echelon probably did. But the renegade Imperials who have, tried to get away from the Republic, they've been building on the outer rims.
Mm-hmm.
The Republic kind of knew something was going on. Did they do anything? No. They let that dark side rise again.
That's very telling in Return the Jedi. What of the reports of the rebels amassing their Sullust? They have no concern. Oh, really? Because that's who came after you and blew up your tiny little battle station. So interesting that tables were turned a bit there.
Mm-hmm.
You get a little absolute power corrupts. Absolutely, you kind of, and I don't mean like corruption, like taking payments. And Mon Mothma was a no. It just you sometimes you think you know and you don't, and you make decisions based on what you think is the best data you have, and you don't have it all. You know, there was a lot with those, like the Bothan Spy Network. They were dual threat. Like they were double agents. They didn't just serve the Republic. We find that out too in Expanded Universe, but still. So who do you trust, right? And I think when kind of rolling that who do you trust back into to Snoke, I mean, what do we know why Kylo felt the need to follow him? Is it just because he was in his ear telekinetically or whatever? Or it's like, oh, I should listen because he's able to do this and Master Luke doesn't do that, or Uncle Luke.
Well, and then you got to remember, because it is said in the third movie, all the voices you have heard in your head has been me. So Palpatine has been doing the Darth Vader thing, you know, making Kylo think he's hearing his grandfather, and his grandfather wants him to finish what he started. Bullshit. So yeah.
Man, rationalizing his own craziness by saying his, you know, grandfather speaks to him or whatever. I mean, that's a bunch of BS. We know Anakin died and as not a Sith. And so we know he learned to commune with those, as we see later on. And that was, I think, set up early in those movies as potentially being something. The fact that they had him appear at the end of Return of the Jedi with Yoda and Obi-Wan. Okay, first of all, I know this is a dark side show, but can you imagine those two, like, seeing him? Like, I'm a little happy Dana's coming out right now because he just, dude, these are happy tears. I think that it would have had to have been like, And for Obi-Wan, who's like, oh no, he's, you know, a wasted piece of shit and he should just die. I mean, like, and then here he is, proved your ass wrong again. Like, yeah, I don't know what you think about that. I always thought, man, that had to have been some kind of reunion, you know? But I guess they didn't really have time to talk because, you know, they had to quick take that picture of all of them standing next to each other.
Wait, I need this for my album, my family album,
my scrapbook. Oh,
did you just spill your wine?
Nope.
Okay.
Man, Debbie, you're gonna hate this episode because there's no one else here. So when you're like, okay, I'm done, like on the side chat, I'm the only one that's gonna be here if you leave. So I'm just letting you know that now. And everyone else
have to blank my screen and go to the restroom real quick.
Well, we didn't have to tell everyone that. I was trying to be all, you know, under the down low, whatever. Under the down low? That's not how that goes. Why are the two oldest people on the show running the show? I don't know if we should be running the show. Okay. You're trying to finish your paper. Well, finish your paper, Madison. This isn't the same one you called me about on Sunday, is it? Please no. Anyways, I love that my kids can call me and be like, hey, I want help with my homework. And they're in college. Like, because there was a time in high school, they were like, hey, I need oh, you're writing a paper? I can help you with that. What is that? Mataha? Mataha. I don't know what Mataha is. Yeah, totally. Oh, it's not the same
I
one.
can help as long as it wasn't math.
Is that how you pronounce that word? Okay.
Math?
Not Mataha? Okay. You just got it. That was brilliant. 4 to 6 pages in my sleep in like an hour. That's nothing. That's easy
Ugh.
peasy. Back in the day, back 2 years ago when I finished my doctorate, those were candy. All right. So next piece of the Force Awakens, we have towards the end we have the face off between Luke, not Luke. I'm sorry, Finn and Rey against Kylo Ren. We talked about the Han Solo piece a little earlier. Can I just say that one of the best pieces of this entire movie, and this is saying something if I think this is one of the best pieces, was when they're about to try to get into the big Ilum space planet battle station. And he's like, okay, what's the plan? And he's like, we use the Force. That's not how the Force works. That to me, that moment is like lives rent free. And I say, anytime someone's like, oh, why don't we just do this? I will say, that's not how the Force works. And I'll get looked at like, what are you talking about? We were talking about, going through the drive-through or whatever. Yeah, but that's not how that works. Well, yeah, but why'd you say Force? Just forget it. Just forget I said anything.
Oh, I hate it when I do movie quotes and people at work just look at me.
Or they ask what? And then it's like, it's not worth repeating. And then you say it again. They're like, what is that? Oh my God. Here goes 5 minutes of my life. I'll never get back just because I can't hold my tongue and I have to do a movie quote. Am I wrong? You'd get it too. Man. That's Gen Xers. This is what we do. All right.
Well, I'm a boomer. So.
No.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. I can't believe
I'm the very end of the boomer. 63.
Well, we'll adopt you. You're a Gen Xer. Cheers. Nice. I forgot what we were actually going. Oh, because I switched gears. Because that's not how the Force works. I need help because when I see Rey fighting Kylo Ren, I know she has spent the better part of her life learning how to take care of herself and defend herself. Totally cool with her fighting style not being refined.
No, her fighting style is how she fights with her staff, her regular staff.
Here's my problem. She did not wield that saber like a saber that has no weight, but has you know how the lightsaber like constantly is trying to move, right? And that you have to be able to hold it still because it's just so much. So it's literally like this. So when you're swinging the saber, it's not a weighted like your staff, right? It's different. But she swung it around like it was just a regular. Whereas you watch Kylo Ren, and maybe it's just this is how they were directed. But for me, that saber seems a little unbelievable than what we had seen in the past and how deliberate they are or fanciful they are with their saber fighting. And I get it. She is not trained in any of the forms of lightsaber combat. And I'm fine with that. What I'm not fine with is just she did not. And it may be like I'm just a lore geek and know that that's how a lightsaber works, which was why it was such a big deal that Han Solo picked the lightsaber up in Empire Strikes Back and sliced open the thing because not anyone carried them. Now, in the initial screenplay and all that, yes, the lightsaber was not only for Jedi or Sith, but it evolved into that before the movies came out. So when I saw that, that's a great point too. Why didn't she have a double-bladed lightsaber when she had a staff anyways? I thought that was dumb. Thank you, Clay. Pop that up. So I just didn't find that believable. And I found that someone who had plenty of training in the art of saber fighting under the Luke Skywalker Academy fought barbaric. They had a very kind of barbaric way of fighting. And I get it because he's holding it more like a broadsword as opposed to a single-handed, rapier or something light. And I get that, but I had a real hard time adjusting to that.
Could it be because he was not balanced in the Force, therefore he could not really wield the saber correctly? The saber was fighting him or something? I don't know. I'm just throwing shit on the wall.
Well, and his saber was volatile. It was not fine-tuned. It was shaky and intentionally, like it's like when you overclock your CPU, right? like at some point shit's probably gonna blow up, but until then we're gonna have a blast. And I kind of felt like we know that's somewhat of what his lightsaber was. So I think with that, coupled with the lack of balance,
because when he fights in the third movie, when he's he's being
back
good
into form and everything.
Yeah, his lightsaber style is totally different to me, at least.
You're right. The crystal was unstable. Thank you. That's where I was trying to get to. Thank you. Ignite the green. Come on. We need the red, not the green. It's okay. Welcome to the show, Ignite the Green. I swore we first saw her have a staff that she would have a double blade. Yeah, absolutely. And they did in the second movie the last movie when they did Darkseid Ray, and then it was like nunchucks or something. It's weird. I don't know. I didn't like that. That was weird. Oh, that wasn't a double bladed saber. It was a double bladed saber. Oh my god, that sounded ridiculous.
What?
It wasn't like a Maul double bladed saber, right?
It was one that could connect.
It was, but they
come
were
apart, connect.
They weren't one long line. They were two vertical, if you recall. And I thought that was bizarre.
I guess I'll find out when we get to that movie, and I'll watch it.
Yeah. See, this is the thing, folks. Like, I don't have rules for being a part of the show as far as like, hey, we're talking about this, make sure you watch it. And the reason is because, I know we get into crap like this that people don't want to watch again. So, yeah.
I like them. They're not my favorite. There's elements of each movie that I like and I pick and choose to like. But, for the most part, I always go back to the originals or to the prequels, unless I'm going through all the movies, in which I include the sequels.
Yeah.
And there's only one part I really literally I fast forward, and that's Canto Bite. I hate that with a passion.
Yeah, I was thinking while that we'll talk about it next week. I thought they were going to use that to kind of bolster a relationship or something, like have it lay the groundwork for an actual relationship with Finn and Rose. And then I felt there was going to be we have a new smuggler guy coming in, like a Han character with
No, it was Indiana
Benicio del Toro.
Jones.
And it was, what is he doing? It was like, what is wrong with this guy? Oh my god. Sorry.
And what is his name? Del Toro or
Benicio del Toro. Yeah.
Yeah. Not one of my favorites. I like him in Guardians. That's about it. Because half the time I can't understand what the hell he's saying.
He was the collector, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when you saw this movie, let's say the last time you saw it is the last time you Sunday. So I
always watch the movies before we talk about
it. I try to as well. I looked at it when I watched the movie. I was looking at it from like a more dark side. Okay, whatever's happening with Poe and Finn and blah, blah, blah. Oh, okay, we're not going to call you that. How about Finn? Okay, whatever. Like, all that go. I wanted to really think about and watch through that dark side of this movie. And what I determined is that the dark side
Be
is
safe.
weak. And why in the hell would I ever want to be a part of the dark side when they're literally, they whine? Every last one of them are whiners. And even Snoke is like, "Grr," like it just, it felt gross. And it felt like, oh, I don't want to have a Sith Dominion dark side show because this is dumb. Like dark side is dumb because good is dumb. That's what it should be. Spaceballs, thank you very much. But no, they make it like, oh, the dark side is it's supposed to have a coolness and a seduction to it. Okay, I'm not saying the dark side is the way to go. What I'm saying is it should be seductive. It should be cool. It should be, oh, that's awesome. That red. It should be drawing you in with temptation of power and strength by using your passion. Oh God, we're gonna go into it. I guess the whole Sith code. But understand, I didn't get that feeling like I did with Vader and Palpatine. And in the prequels that I got from Maul and Palpatine and Dooku, there wasn't that sense of fear or ominous presence of I'm going to absolutely destroy you if you don't do what I say. I never felt scared. And I know I'm an old man, but you know what I'm saying. I never felt the way I felt about any of the other Sith, because they're not Sith, than I did with these dark side characters. I just couldn't feel it, man. So I wanted to know from your perspective, who lived that same life I did and saw those same things, experienced those, wow, the dark side's scary. It's cool though, but it's scary. Like, I didn't get that from TFA.
Well, I think my main focus was, as far as the dark side goes, was who the hell was Snoke?
Mm.
You know, where'd this guy come from? And then, you know, I was looking to see who Snoke was earlier on the internet, and somebody said something about, well, somebody had asked, I think it was on a Reddit thing, how Snoke got the scar or whatever.
Mhm.
And it said, well, somebody responded and said, well, in the comics, Luke gives him that scar. And I'm like,
What?
so Luke knew who Snoke was?
Mm.
Now, tomorrow, while I'm at work and it's slow, because it will be slow, I'm going to have to go through Marvel and see if I can find those comics on there.
It would be like Marvel Unlimited. It would be on
Yeah.
there? Or? Yeah, okay. I think I have it too still. I'll take a look.
Yeah, I usually get on there to do Marvel research. I wish I could get into reading the comics. I have a hard time reading them on my computer screen.
Yeah, I didn't start really until I got a tablet years ago, whatever. Like, but I tried to look at it on my phone, and it just wasn't working. Yes, the lust for power, the greed of it never being enough, the envy. That's where I didn't feel that. I felt the quest for power for both, but it was more they were begging for favor of Snoke. It wasn't that they were both passionate about obtaining power and keeping it for themselves the way that Sith usually do. So clearly not Sith, right? Sorry, I got sidetracked. But yes, now I've done it. Debbie, I've done it. I've lost my train of thought. You were saying, oh, the comics. So I started looking on the tablet, and once I got to, I was like, oh, hooked, because I was reading those Vader comics. Oh my God, they're so good. So if you don't know, I guess it was like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, they started, no, maybe even longer, started rolling out the Darth Vader. Marvel started rolling out the Darth Vader comic. It's a very good comic. It goes at like Dr. Aphra, talk a lot about, they have a whole chunk with her and in the what are those things called? Inquisitors, and just all kinds of stuff. Good stuff. Darth Jar Jar was a better idea than Snoke. Yeah. I agree. Oh, have you guys been watching the Lego thing yet? I haven't watched it yet.
Oh my God, it's great.
Is it good? Is
It
it? Do they do like a
is.
one a week or all at once?
No,
Or how
it's
does it-
all out. It's
Okay.
just 4 little episodes. They're only a half hour. I don't know why they broke it up. They should have just made it one big movie. It's great. I laughed. It was
I gotta check it out.
hilarious.
Has anyone watching? We got a couple people watching. It's actually good. Madison's seen it. Yeah, I can't believe I haven't seen it. We were actually looking for something to watch the other night and didn't even think to look at that. So we'll watch that. It'll be fun. What were we watching? Some older movie. Yeah. Anyways, point is,
I have to take a short break.
you do that.
I'll be right
Oh,
back.
I will keep them entertained. 100%.
Okay.
Okay, we can still hear you. You might want to mute. Don't take us with you. I'll mute her. Okay, it's just us. No, when we were talking in the pre-show, I do TikTok live in pre-show, and then I have TikTok watching this for as long as it can before it logs off because I'm idle. And one of the things we were talking about in this film is the importance of that relationship of parent and child, how the family relationships can be so strong, and it's because of that strength that something so small, maybe Han said something he shouldn't have to Kylo or to Ben at a younger age, and the dynamic changes, right? That family member doesn't, feels betrayed, or that family member feels whatever. It's a tough balance, and when we see Kylo and his father having that moment, they are both there for very different reasons. And the reasons that Kylo has, very selfish reasons why he's confronting his father, and then his father, very non-selfish reasons why he's confronting his son. He's willing to have his son take his life, and he's willing to have his son come back with him. He's not willing to take his son's life. And I thought that was really, really interesting. I'm sorry, Clay. Yeah, do we talk? Oh, absolutely. Go check out our YouTube channel. I think all of our shows are now uploaded, Debbie said. We had a big move from GNN about a month and a half ago. We left the GNN platform and started our own channel. And hi, Debbie. Debbie's been moving all of our content. So yeah, this is episode 53. We had 40 plus shows over there, moved them all over. So do we talk about the Old Republic? Absolutely. We talk about Old Republic. We love that. Revan, Malik. We talked a little bit about Old Republic video game stuff like Malgus and whatnot. Satine, not Satine.
Bastille. Shaw.
Thank you.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. That family.
Yeah, we're talking about.
Yeah, that family being so influential in the Republic and also as Jedi throughout the Old Republic. Just all of it. We talk all that stuff. So yeah, we'll be back on Old Republic at some point too.
And be sure to like and follow if you like our stuff.
Yes, and subscribe. More subs, more likes, more followers.
Oh, I said follow, didn't I?
Yeah, follow. We finally got the 100 followers, and now we're at 102, I think, over in Facebook world. So that's great. But I think we're up to 30 something here. That's cool too. Twitch has a couple. But yeah, again, thank you all for last week. Was super awesome. We have had over 300 views or so between podcast and views. More than that. So really awesome. Which tells us that maybe it's not you and I, Debbie, but when the full cast is on, everybody wants to see. It's just us. Or
are you saying they don't like me?
No, they like you. They'd rather see everyone else, not me. So
poopy doop.
On I'm looking at shows coming up for the next little chunk. Just so you all know, we can touch on this now. We'll be talking about The Last Jedi next week, and after that, the Rise of Skywalker, the somehow Palpatine returned and no one knew movie, and then
I don't know how people say that. He quite literally showed up at celebration.
Who?
Palpatine.
Oh, because he had
Ian
his laugh.
McDermott.
Oh, he was there at it?
Yes, for the
Well,
promotion of the show, of the movie.
Oh, I didn't know that. I remember seeing that and hearing his laugh and going, "What? Oh my god! I didn't know he was there." Oh,
Yeah. I will have to look up the video for you.
Oh yes.
Because I watched that thing when it first aired.
Yeah.
Of course, I took off work so I could watch it.
Oh, hold on. You
So-
took off work to watch the celebration?
To watch Celebration.
Your fandom knows no bounds.
And I'm in a lot of them, it seems like. But
I
yeah.
may not have been as sick as I let on, Wyatt.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
I told him I was taking off.
Oh, you were like, no, straight up.
I said, Star Wars Celebration. I'm sorry. It's during the week. Yeah, I will not be here. I think it was a Friday I took off. So I was like, see ya. Bye. Wouldn't want to be ya.
Madison, you said you posted a video in media. Are you talking about in our in the Discord? I'm looking. Oh yeah, I got you. Oh, hold up. Okay, hold up, y'all. We gotta share screen. So we're talking about Snoke and Zane, our resident lore master. How do I get this? What? How do I not? Oh, here we go. So Zane had posted on the 24th this. Hold up, we're gonna ignore this.
Oh.
Yes. I'm 100% there, man. This is awesome. So yeah, how did it? Well, because Darth Vader gave him that scar. Wonder how? Slice him through the face when he was a kid. That's fantastic. Let me see what you got. So yeah, those of you, look, this is the Sith Dominion Discord. Look at that. Oh, even nitroed up. That's right, folks. So yeah, jump. Rewind. Let's try this again. Like, follow, subscribe, hit that bell, all those things, and ping us on any of socials. Ping us. Hit us up in the DM, and we will give you the link. I said we'd do it October 1st. I think we're gonna wait for these next 2 episodes, and then when we start our next whole segment of shows, we'll have that open for everyone, and we'll have the link available on our link tree. So yeah, awesome. What do you got over here? Is this gonna get me in trouble?
Who the hell made that? That's great.
That was fantastic, Madison. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Love it. Love it. Oh my goodness. Yeah. That scene. Oh man, that scene though, with his daddy. That was good. That was a good scene. And I know, Cam, I know you hate that, but man, I talked at length how important that scene is to any kid that had any sort of beef with his pops growing up.
I cried.
Man, because he's not a force ghost.
No.
He's flat out cold. He's dead. I'm sorry. That was kind of hard. But I mean, Han's dead. He's dead. There's no, speaking through the world between worlds and none of this bullshit. He's flat out dead. And so Kylo is reconciling his relationship with his father through his own manifestation of his father. Which
See, I looked at that differently.
I saw it as him saying, I know what my father would say, and I'm going to have this conversation with him and put this to bed, and I need to hear my father tell me it's okay. I don't know. That's the way I looked at it. Talk to me, Goose.
I looked at it Just like Luke was force projecting himself halfway across the galaxy, Leia was doing the exact same thing, but using Han instead of herself.
Oh.
Because as soon as that scene's over with, you see her body disappear.
So I thought she reached out and touched him with the Force to give him pause, that then Rey killed him. And then I thought she died.
No, I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Well, I'm pretty sure we're all going to watch this movie again.
Oh, I'll have to watch the movie again, damn it.
I love being wrong on this stuff. I actually do, because and it's funny, like, you grow up with Star Wars and people like look at you like, hey, what's this or what's that? And you know the answers 90% of the time. But there's always someone who knows more. Michael Jordan, famous quote of Michael Jordan. I love it. There's another Michael Jordan right now, someone better than Michael Jordan that's practicing in the gym. Like, there is never going to be an ultimate Star Wars knows everything, which is why Dana doesn't do the show alone, one, and why I ask questions, because I'm not afraid to say, oh, I thought it was this, I'm an idiot. Or I love to entertain other aspects of dark side Star Wars. It's so interesting to me that we can all sit here in this comments and look and see such differential opinions, but yet all be on the same page of, yes, this is what Star Wars kind of should be, and this is what it's not right now. But again, we don't bash the other stuff here in the show as much as we can. We try not to, but we still have opinions, and we're still going to share them. Last bit for the evening. And
oh, thank God.
Thank God, because if you don't know, Indiana is in Eastern time zone, and I'm in Central, so she's way past her bedtime. That's okay. Last bit. So moving out of that scene where we kind of gave him crap about their saber fighting. Explain to me how she beat him. How did Rey beat Kylo Ren?
Pure luck. What scene are we talking about?
The separation of the ground. Yeah. You're right. That's what stopped that fight. But hold up.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, you got it.
So the deaths of Leia and of her son Kylo Ren, now redeemed as Ben Solo, as Ben Solo's body disappeared, also then did Leia's body disappear.
No, what?
They
His
both
body disappears after he saves Rey in the very, very end.
Yeah.
She, man.
And I'm just saying.
I know you're just saying, and I'm just saying. So we're gonna have to say, we'll
so
see.
What was the original question?
For Pete's sake.
Hug me.
We have no one else on the show except for comments. Can anyone help us remember? Can we rewind this? We have a DVR. Let's go back. DVR. What's that? That's a joke. Who put decaf in my Star? That's about right.
Oh, how Rey beat Kylo.
Oh yeah. So overconfident.
In which scene?
Yeah. So when he's doing this, like, getting the paint, like, dude, I will say, like, I loved that, because that's like diving into your pain in a very, physical way, but in a very deep way, and causing yourself more pain so you can be more raged and seething. Like, holy shit, that was cool. I thought that was cool. What did you think about the seething and the beating of his wound and like was that
Oh yeah, I
dark
thought
side
that was cool.
Yeah. That's the dark side I'm talking about, right? That's the holy like he got hit with the bowcaster and yeah, it grazed him. If he'd taken it to his chest, he'd been dead. Let's be honest. But it hit him enough to cause him to double over, and he's using the Force. If you know about the Force, he's using the Force to help with his health, but he's not taking the pain away. He's keeping the pain there, just like Vader in his suit, right? Had all pain, like the entire Maul when he was in excruciating pain when he came back after being in half. I mean, the bottom half of his body is gone, and he's still Kenobi. Like he's lost his shit. Yeah, I know. I swear to God, if someone gives me an opportunity, I will be a voice actor and I will do whatever I can to do it. I love doing voices. Anyway, yeah. So everyone out there, no, I want to do this. Just kidding. The just seeing that seething, that's what seething is, right? Like that's the just growing deeper and stronger in your own emotions. And he just killed his daddy. Like if you ain't and he kills his dad, he gets shot, and now he's like, F you all. I'm gonna lose my shit. And he does. But Rey defeats him. Now, he does get Finn, and he gets the traitor back. That was a cool, like, you know what? That whole scene is pretty redeeming now that I'm thinking about it. Not for the whole movie, but
Well, I think from my viewpoint,
do it.
because I'm thinking, okay, if you're strong with the dark side, you shouldn't have to do the pounding. That sounded wrong, but you know what I mean.
I mean, who doesn't want a good dark side pounding? Is that what this show's about?
Because that kind of showed me, at least, that he's still conflicted, even though he just killed his dad. He's still conflicted.
How did he lose? He was out of balance. Yeah, so he wasn't fully in dark side. He just killed his dad. He's got to have some sort of crazy emotions about that. He's not. He's out of balance. Go ahead.
Plus, he doesn't want to kill Rey because he wants to take her on as an apprentice.
Yep.
So him,
come here,
somewhat holding back, plus being conflicted. I don't know if he thought if he could bring Rey to his side that he would finally get approval from Snoke. I don't know.
The only reason he kept the girl, he kept Rey. That's what he called her, the girl. I kept the girl. She's seen the map. Like that's why he kept her. Like he's like, I wanna. But in that interaction with her, he sensed her Force sensitivity clearly, and then they had the back and forth and blah blah blah. We should have talked about this at the beginning. We'd never seen we'd seen it in books in Expanded Universe or Legends, whatever. But we never saw it played out on screen, as far as I know, where you're literally digging into the mind of another. Like we've seen it in a comic, we've seen it in books. Like we know this is a Force power. I don't recall ever seeing it on film, and so seeing him and Poe at it, that was actually kind of hard. Freaking what's his name? Crap, I just forgot his name. The actor Poe.
Oscar Isaacs.
Hell of an actor. Oh my god. All of those actors, all of them. I watch in other like I love all those actors. They've all even grown and become so even John Boyega. I liked John Boyega's character. They just effed him over bad. Like that was just they did his character dirty. I just think that, when they start getting vocal about stuff that I don't think was a part of it, that just is a turnoff for me. Because I didn't look at it that way, and I'm sorry that he did. Whatever. I think they just screwed over his character. There wasn't room for him in the story they were trying to tell. And that's a shame because he should have been a part of the story they were trying to tell in a very real relationship, platonic relationship between him and Rey, which could have blossomed into a teacher pupil or let's learn together situation that I think could have been huge for the entire story. But nobody asked me, what do I know? But how did you feel about that scene with Oscar Isaacs? Because we hadn't seen that sort of dark side power played out before.
Yeah, that was a hard watch because, we can only imagine what somebody literally creeping through our thoughts and getting deeper and deeper depending on where he's holding that information. And it's especially if, I don't know if this is how the Force works, but if he's strong-willed, then I would imagine it would be harder for Kylo to get the information. So therefore he has to keep digging deeper and deeper and deeper into, the different layers of the brain or lobes or whatever, wherever it's at.
Mm-hmm.
So it made it a very hard watch.
It's always intrigued me that these sorts of mind exploration powers cause pain. I don't know why. That's never been explained to me. I mean, if you're just looking for a memory, why does it hurt? That's never sat. I never understood that. It frightens me that if someone were to, we see. Oh my God, yeah. I don't think anyone knows this. You do, Flash Gordon. When they're racing, what's his name's mine? Topal was the actor. I don't remember what the character's name was, but they were racing. If I were a rich man, they're racing his. Yes, he was Tevye. Great, great movie. On the Roofs, great music. Just watch it. It's I've seen it on stage twice. It's so good. Anyways, when they're racing his mind, he was in pain. Like it wasn't pleasant for him, and so I'm so concerned with, and I don't know why I'm wrapped up in this or why this matters to me. Why does it hurt when someone's probing your mind? Why? Why does it hurt?
Well, I think it just depends on, because like Kenobi, okay, in New Hope, he influences, I mean, technically he's not going in the brain, but he's influencing the brain.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to see us. You don't need to see our ID, blah, 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 blah. So, he's just tapping lightly, to kind of persuade the dude. But to have somebody forcefully go into your brain, digging around, and you're trying to fight it.
So he okay, so it's what is it? The map is in BB-8. That's what he's trying to get at, right? Like, so that's what Kylo Ren's trying to get, and Poe is trying to secure just that one little nugget inside his mind. He's trying to secure something that he's not supposed to think of, right? Okay, maybe I've just been drinking too much wine. This is a very difficult thing to try to this concept to conceive in my own brain. I have a thought that I'm not supposed to let out, but I can't think about the thought that I'm not supposed to let out. So I have to keep the thought buried so I don't think about it, so I don't let out the thought. But to keep the thought buried, I have to create some sort of barrier that could be painful for them, but it just hurts to even, and then now I'm because I'm so twisted. I don't get it. When they use the Force to go in their heads, it reminds me of Deadpool Wolverine movie. Why? What did I miss there?
Have you not seen Deadpool and Wolverine?
I have seen it. What was
when Nova has her fingers in people's brains?
Oh yeah. That was
which was totally freakazoid. Jesus.
Yeah. Ooh, and Mortis. Yeah, we talked about the Mortis stuff quite a bit, and we'll probably end up talking about that more because it looks like Ahsoka might lean that way. So
Oh,
what
it
we
will.
talking? Well, I'm just gonna say straight up, Balin Skull. I'm that a shame, flat out. I'm saddened in my deepest of hearts that he is no longer that Ray
Stevenson.
Stevenson is has passed, because what a fine actor anyway, but this character that he was creating, oh jeez. I Yeah, if I could identify with any character in the entire saga, whereas once everyone knew me as Vader, like I, I Balin might be my guy, man. He is. I am no Jedi, but he never says he's not a Sith. He does not actually say I am not Sith. He
He's
just says I'm not a
gray.
Jedi. There is no gray Jedi. Let's not go down this path. The path of the gray Jedi is the path of some cowardly non-side choosing turd that I don't know. If I ran into, I'd force him to pick a side. So hey. No, I just that whole mind thing, I know I was kind of joking about it, but it is something that I have always wondered, like, what, because this isn't Star Wars isn't the first to do this, right? I mean, like you said, there's it putting the hands in the head and whatever. Oh, it's crazy. But I've never understood why it hurt. And maybe one day I'll get to experience someone trying to mind probe me. Do you have to pay extra for the mind probe too? No, I'm just kidding. We're not an adult show, I promise. Just put Kylo in the place of the light side and Rey in the place. Man, I agree. I think there would be. I think. I don't know. Yeah, Abeloth will be. Sorry, I'm reading comments now. Abeloth, yeah, this is going to be good. I can't wait. I always have high expectations, unfortunately, and unfairly, probably. The Acolyte's a perfect example of us talking up and being excited about, and then going dead air for 3 weeks because we were like, I can't even get on and talk about this damn shit. It's ridiculous. And then cramming 3 episodes into one show because we just didn't even want to talk about it. No, I'm really happy with this show. I think we've covered some good dark side pieces that don't get a lot of coverage. Some of the stuff we always talk about, but some of the stuff has been good. And so for the very last for our evening, so that you can go to bed. I appreciate you staying on all the way almost till 10. This is crazy. Oh, 11 your time. It's amazing. Thank you, Deb.
Yeah, my ass will be dragging at work tomorrow, and they'll say, "What's wrong with you, Deb?" And I'll say,
Dana.
"Freaking Dana."
Dr. Dana.
Freaking Dr. Dana.
You've never called me that. This might be the first time you've ever called me. All right. So the last piece, just at the end of this film, the big quote unquote victory is that the Death Star was blown up. Everyone's happy. Was there anything in the last 15 minutes that would have alluded that there would have been a second one?
Are we talking New Hope?
No, I'm sorry. TFA, Force Awakens.
Okay.
What was in the last 15, 20 minutes of The Force Awakens that would lead you to believe there's going to be a sequel to that? Like there would have been a next episode, which we'll talk about next week. I had a really hard time connecting the next movie from the first movie, if that makes sense.
Because they totally changed it up. You know, I don't know how movies get made, especially if they're a part of a franchise. But, you know, most of the franchises that I watch, they all connect somehow. And why Disney or Kathleen or whoever was in charge of writers, why they didn't, before they decided to do this, sit down at a table and say, talk me through the sequels, talk me through this trilogy. Where are we going? How are we going to start? Where's the middle? And how's it going to end? It's got to all connect. It's like poetry. It's got a rhyme, right? But I don't know if they got freaked out because people were like, "Oh, this is too much like New Hope, blah blah blah. We wanted something new." And so they totally changed it up, and then they gave him something totally new. Oh my God, what the hell's this shit? So I don't know. I don't know how it works. So I don't, yeah. And then they try to bring it back in the third one, and yeah.
Ridiculous.
I don't know if that answers your question, but
no, I think
that's all I got.
A New Hope could have been standalone, right? And I think this film could have been standalone as well. New Hope, yeah, we didn't ever see the Emperor or nothing, but the Death Star was blown up. That was a major victory for the rebellion. I mean, you could sense the shift, right? We didn't need to see any other movies. My God, I'm glad we did. But it could have stood alone. I felt the same about this movie, that it could have stood alone. Now, why did it not stand alone, either of them? Well, same writer for A New Hope through Jedi. You had Kasdan join help him write some of this later on, which is great. I had no problem with the Kasdan piece. We got Empire because of that, please. And then also assisted with the earlier movies as well, the sequels or the prequels. His son, I think, helped with some of the sequel stuff too. So I'm okay with people who are invested in the story to help develop the story and grow the story. But people who are, this has, I think, been our point of contention for a while, people who don't even understand the story or know the story fully are coming in writing the story. And there's no continuity. There are a lot of gaps or holes that have to be filled, retconned, or whatever you want to do to fix them. And it tarnishes. It takes away from being engaged in the film. And this is where I said, what did I say when Dana finally lost it? Or like you killed Han Solo in the stupidest way. He gave kids hope that were the bad kids, right? They could grow up and be a good dude. In Han Solo, you can still have that little scum side here and there, but you have a good heart, and that means way more than Luke, who's always had a good heart, right? This is huge that a man that said "F you, I'm not a part of this," felt compelled to come back and save Luke Skywalker. That in and of itself is a huge story. And I did not feel that in this, in The Force Awakens. I did not feel that they did Han dirty. So we never got all of those characters on screen again. We've talked about there's some bullshit right there. You don't get any of those guys on the screen again when you had that perfect opportunity to, and you still had that opportunity through the next two movies by doing some sort of, flashback or so. You could have done it, but you didn't. And it was almost like an FU to us that they didn't do that. Of course, all those movies, I guess, are an FU to us because it's not made for you. It's made for the kids. I don't know, man.
Well, like I've said before, I understand what they were trying to do. They're trying to bring in a new generation, right? So in order to do that, they have to get rid of the originals. Totally get it. They just went about it totally wrong.
You know what was a huge hit for Disney? Descendants. You familiar with the Descendants franchise?
Never heard of it.
The Descendants franchise is the descendants of the heroes and anti-heroes or villains in Disney. So you have Eva Queen from Snow White, her daughter. You have King Beast, his son. You've got all the princes and princesses. They're all grown up, and they have kids. And these kids have crap go on with each other, and it's great because you have the history of the villains, their kids living up to those names and having to deal with each other. And it's definitely a tween thing. And I may or may not have been in the Descendants musical as King Beast. I had a bigger beard then. But point is, you can have the familiarity of old characters and introduce new characters, and it be successful and be a Disney product. Imagine that. And I just feel they dropped the ball with that. So I agree with you. You know, let the past die, kill it if you have to. Shut up. You're just trying to, like, this is what we're doing to the franchise. Of course that's what you're doing to the franchise. I believe that that's okay. I'm alongside you, but I think you have to have a touch of it that is reminiscent and still feels like the old characters. And that was absent. As Cam says, that's not my Luke, right? You took that away. That's not Leia's a woman. You can't own her. Shut up. I'm just saying that's not my Leia. Okay. My Leia was a badass. And yeah, she was kind of badass until she did the Leia Poppins thing. I don't know, man. I'm not rambling. I'm trying to get to a point here that the storytelling, the consistency, the lack of consistency, and the lack of continuity is what hurt this movie. The movie had a lot of opportunity. There were things that we loved in the movie, and there were things that we hated in the movie. Overall, of the three, I'm gonna give it's the best of the three, in my opinion.
Yes, it is. It's my favorite.
And with that, we have a Yanni.
I'm sorry.
We're gonna play some music for us, Yanni.
I'm trying.
I don't even know if anyone knows who Yanni is but us anymore. All right.
That's how old we are.
That's how old we are, yo. We made it. Look at this. We made it. Good job, Deb. I'm so proud of you. This is great. Now, next week, when you're not here at this time, people are gonna wonder because you were able to do it this time. So it was a trick, and I gotcha. Any parting shots on TFA before we wrap it up show? Any final thoughts on it?
Not really. I mean, it's my favorite. Many missed opportunities for sure, just like you just mentioned, you know, at least having the three together somehow in a flashback or whatever. They could have de-aged him. I mean, whatever. Yeah, missed opportunity there. But yeah, regardless, it's still my favorite of the sequels.
Biggest plot hole, the kid that pulled the let me tell you.
That's next week.
And I can't wait to blow up some Disney shit for that one. Why would you? Oh my God. Okay, I'm done. That's next week. We gotta get Deb out of here. Folks, for real, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications when we go live. We are on Facebook, we are on Twitch, we are on YouTube, we are on Spotify, we're on Apple iTunes. We just got on Apple this last week. Yay! They are so trying to get on, but I got on. So all of our stuff that has been uploaded to audio has been there. We are behind on our audio uploads, but thanks to Debbie, yay! We have all of our videos up from the GNN side all the way up here now to today. So thank you, Debbie.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, go check us out wherever you get your podcast, but subscribe. We have a Discord server that we go into after hours. It's called TSD After Dark, not after hours.
Me
will not be in After Dark. I'll be there for a bit. If you guys want to join, hit me up on a social DM and I'll give you the Discord link and we'll chat in Discord. Video chat in Discord. So, man, anything else, Debbie? You said that Cantina Happy Hour, which will be on Thursday.
We're talking about Han Solo.
Oh, y'all are on Thursday? Okay, I don't know what that was. I think you're very tired and loopy because, wow, I got to make that a sound clip. That was awesome.
Yeah, so Han Solo. And then Friday, I'll be on the Geek and I podcast talking Star Trek original series.
Nice.
Menagerie Part 2. Geek Gauntlet on Saturday. And whatever. So.
Yeah, let's hope Geek Gauntlet on Saturday and hope Williams got out of there or got his stuff squared away.
He was caught up in the hurricane crap down in Georgia. So,
and thoughts and prayers to all folks I know some folks out in North Carolina. This is just terrible, terrible situation. We're here, having fun or whatever, and there's folks displaced. So, if there's anything that you can do to help, I know there's a couple of reputable nonprofits that you can donate to help. I'll probably go look and just share some stuff because I like I said, I do have folks that I know that are displaced right now. And when it touches you personally, it's a little different, and it's a shame that sometimes it has to touch you personally to make a difference. So thoughts and prayers with all those folks. Yeah. What a great show. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you, Andrew, for the bit that you did join for a whole 15 minutes.
I need some better internet, I tell you.
Well, and I'll tell you, Debbie, I think we didn't just carry the show, like we rocked this show. So thank you. This was great.
Us old farts aren't as bad as people think.
No, we just need a break halfway through. So
I'm older than you. My bladder doesn't work as well.
Oh, before we go into After Dark where Dana's running. So, ow! That was terrible. All right, folks, check us out on anywhere you get your podcast. Check us out on Facebook too. DM me. I'll get you the Discord link. We're going to be in After Hours. It may just be me. Who cares? Who knows? Let me tell you. Thank you all for joining. This was super great engagement. Clay, Swish, Lord Binks. Oh, my goodness. I just got that. Awesome. Eris, Corbin, Madison, and the rest of you guys, whoever else was here. You know what we didn't get? Janae.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
you had to say her name earlier.
I had to have. I know. I need to get her back on too. I think she might have some stuff moving forward. I do have the shows ready to go though for the next few weeks. I will be off in November, and I'll get with you guys about that. See what we're gonna do for that. That's it. So yeah. Anything else, Debbie?
That's
good?
It from me.
Right. Remember, kids, peace is a lie. There is only passion. Good night.